Bhagdevi Dabi. Bhagdevi Dabi and Arokam Bado. Arokam Bado. Okay. Moshni Nyorak. I'm sorry I haven't introduced the participants. Ms. Jomir Jini, a 26-year-old dental surgeon from Arunachal Pradesh, is also a writer, poet. Since her school days, she has been actively getting her works. Thank you, ladies, for felicitating. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, please join me once again for giving them a warm welcome. Now I hand over to Ms. Srimati Anuradha Pujari. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the poetry session. To save our times, I would like to start with Jamir Jimmy's poem. No, first one is, I think, Lisa Lomdak. Is it? In other session? It is OD2, okay. I will start by Jamir Jini. Yeah. Yeah, Prana? Okay. 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 Okay, no problem. It's very nice. Jamir Jini, Dr. Jamir Jini, a 26 years old dental surgeon. Oh, how nice. So lovely girl. Dental surgeon from Arunachal Pradesh, is also a writer poet. Since her school days, she has been actively getting her works published in various magazines such as Sahitya Amrit, Navankur and Kamal Kanti. Her debut English poetry collection titled Sanity in Vanity. Yeah. She writes professionally in English and Hindi both. She has also represented her state in the recent webinar organized by Sahitya Academy, International Day of the World's Indigenous People, on the occasion of 75 Independence Day. So we are waiting to listen your poetry. Go on.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Moderator Ma'am, for the introduction. My name is Jomir Jini, and today I have brought with me two stimulative poems with me. I would like to begin without much ado. The first poem is titled Human's Hand. The mountains are calling, and I must go. The trees are falling, and I must go. But they are not diseased, rather, taken with too much ease, unable to serve up for humans' greed cup. The rivers are calling, and I must go. The streams are drying, and I must go. But they are not sick. It is not for them to pick, being held up by cements and bricks. Oh, poor men's tricks. The mountains are sorry. The mountains are sorry for the homes they have shattered. They tried to stay put as long as they could. The rivers grieve. The rivers grieve for the villages they have flushed. They couldn't help it when they were being rushed. Earth is falling apart at humans' hand. It is high time to take your stand. Do you want to be the last generation to have seen nature's narration of stories before us, of stories beyond us? It is high time to take your stand. Earth is falling apart at human's hand. Thank you. And my next poem is in Hindi, and the title of my poem is Igin or Oyok. And we often blame everything on society, but who is society but us? Through this poem, I want to express my gratitude to my parents for creating a safe space for me at home while growing up. And I want to implore this to you, to create a safe space for children at your home that they may be able to express themselves without a fear. As I proceed, I want to highlight a few words for some who may not understand. I have borrowed a few words in this poem from my mother tongue, Galo. Few of the words are Anna, which stands for माँ, Abo, मतलब कि पिताजी, Igin हम टोकरी को कहते हैं, ओयोग एक प्रकार का तलवार है, छोटा सा, हम उसे दाव भी कहते हैं, गाल एक पोशाक है जो आप यहाँ काफ़ी सारी औरतों को पहने हुए देखेंगे, जो नीचे उन्होंने पहना है, और हबर हम लंगोट को कहते हैं। तो कविता कुछ इस प्रकार है, इगिन और ओयोग। अना के साथ इगिन लिए जंगल जाया करती थी, भर भर टोकरी सब्जी बटोरा करती थी। अबो के साथ ओयोग लिए जंगल जाया करती थी, घर में घेरा लगाने बांस लाया करती थी। इगिन और ओयोग के बीच कभी चुनना नहीं पड़ा था, बेटी हूँ बेटा नहीं, कभी सुनना नहीं पड़ा था। यूं ही बचपन बचपने में बीत गई, यूं ही बचपन बचपने में बीत गई, और आपकी छोटी सी बेटी सयानी हो गई। हुई मेरी जवानी की खूब तैयारी, अर्जी जारी की है बहुत भारी, जनसभा ने जताई शंका, दूल्हा ढूंढो कोई ढंग का। वो कहने लगे कि मेरे सपनों में भी होगी बंधन, कि मेरे सपनों में भी होगी बंधन, कि मैं अपनी नहीं हूँ मैं पराया धन, कि मेरी लकीरें यूं ही बनकर आई है, इसमें क्या दोष क्या ही दुहाई है, कि मेरा अस्तित्व मुझसे नहीं, मेरा अस्तित्व मुझसे नहीं, पारिवारिक दायित्व से है, कि मैं पाक घर में ही ठीक, चाकू छुरी एकदम सटीक। मैं कहती हूँ आपकी निगाहों से निगाहें बराबर कर चल सकती हूँ, हर रंग रूप में ढल सकती हूँ, सारा का सारा बस एक भ्रम ही तो है, देखिए हमारे एक से कर्म ही तो है। इगिन और ओयोग के बीच कभी चुनना ना पड़े, बेटी हूँ बेटा नहीं, कभी सुनना ना पड़े। Thank you so much. That was all from my side. Thank you.
Now I want to call up at the stage Chachum Bosai. Chachum Bosai is a literacy student and published poetry and has been writing poems since her school days. Her poems have been published in Delhi Poetry Slam magazine, Writers Bureau, Canada, and has won many poetry contests, one such being Samagra Foundation All India Poetry Competition. She is a co-author of the book Inheritance of Words, Writing from Arunachal Pradesh, published by Juban and forwarded by Mamang Dai. Her recent anthology, Owns and Words, was published last year. She is also a member of Arunachal Pradesh Literary Society. All the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'll be reciting two poems from my first anthology, Wounds and Words. The first poem is titled Beam of Hope. So here it goes. Today, my forest is dark. Trees are sad, and all the birds have a broken wing. Today, my forest is dark, but not empty, not burned, Trees will grow, birds will fly. There will be light, just like it will rain. Like there will be sunshine, songs of love and songs of hope. And even after a war, a butterfly will still flutter. It would still be beautiful, just like the scars of happiness and of pain, scars that tell you something. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The next poem is titled A World So High. Let us create a world where you bleed your words, your pain, your suffering through poetry, where every rivalry is between best poets of words inked with the best thoughts, a world of no guns but of roses, of blue skies and clouds not of sulfur, a place where you breathe through poems and art, with love to give, warmth be felt, words be spoken, songs be sung, a sense of belongingness in the vastness of your canvas, in the depth of your pen, on a palette where every flower blooms, in a place where art triumphs, a place where you sound sleep and where dreams aren't shattered. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Now I want to call upon the stage Tokyo Siram. Tokyo Siram, firstborn of Bato Siram and Gabon Siram, from Alo, West Siang district, Arunachal Pradesh. Did schooling from Vivekananda Kendriya Vidyalaya Itanagar and Ramakrishna Mission School, Alo. Written numerous poems, short stories to her credit under the Right Order publications.
Thank you,
You
ma'am.
may continue.
Okay. To all the art and literature enthusiasts, to all the art and literature lovers, good afternoon to you all. I am Miss Tokyo Siram, a budding writer and a literature enthusiast from Alo. Today I will be presenting a poem titled The Night of Attack. It is basically a prose poetry form. It is written in a prose poetry form and using very lucid language. The poem is basically presented from the perspective of war-affected children, how their life scatters in a night. So it's me, Tokyo Siram, presenting A Night of Attack. Like every other day, light dinner followed by mom's lullaby. Papa read papers as we said goodnight. Little did we know, a dark night stood behind. God is cruel at times, it seems, notwithstanding better than earthly beings. Together our time were numbered. Days of war were nearer. Lilacs were blooming at my gate. How I wish to see them fade. Oh stranger, the blood my parents lost is same old red. Throw your guns, they are dead. Those two were pair of roses who made our gardens bloom. Their fragrance faded with scent of blood, no sitting smell overspread. Had we got some time, instead of nibble nosh, heavy dinner would have followed. Dad, instead of reading papers, would have cuddled us with no fuss. Skipping was a luxury and that of hope. Economy so broke, people got no home. Where did our endless night of summer laughter go? After the night of attack, do you hear the child weeping? Question the young children in sorrow, why they are crying so. Look, there's nowhere for us to grow. Streets flooded with blood, some left with salacious appetite, singing glory to the God in the highest, none upright. human never remain unbiased. Children of war sits unmoved, underneath breathes solitude. Guardian forgotten promise of returning home, a gust of wind remains unheard. The night of attack, that merciless night of attack. None could bring what we lost. Every blood which spilled was the cost. That night of attack, that merciless night of attack. Thank you.
Brilliant. Now I want to call upon the stage Vinita Duara. Dr. Vinita Duara is an associate professor in the Department of English in Government of College Bomdila. She is also the president of APLS West Kaming Unit. She had participated and presented papers in around 20 national seminars and in more than 10 international conferences. She had contributed immensely toward the modern and folk music of the Nocte Society. She has recorded more than 30 Nocte songs so far. She had also researched on dying folk songs and music tradition of Noctes. Her paper was selected for presentation at the Foundation for Endangered Language in Sydney University, Australia, 2019. On the occasion of Guru Purnima in 2018, she was felicitated for her contributions in social and cultural works by Vivekananda Kendra, Kanyakumari, Arun Jyoti, Deomale. It's a very brilliant work she has done on Nocte communities. Very nice.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, ma'am. Namaskar and a warm good afternoon to all literature lovers, all the wonderful audience present here. I'm an associate professor in English, but I sometimes do writing in Hindi too. I remember the words, I would like to quote Wordsworth here, that poetry is a spontaneous, feeling. It is actually written, with a spontaneous feeling, recollected in tranquility. So when I'm under the spell of spontaneous feeling, my hands take into Hindi writing. And when I write prose, I do it in English. So I write bilingually, basically. So today I have decided to read out 2 of my poems in Hindi. So here it goes. The first poem, मेरी पहली कविता की शीर्षक है भ्रमित. कितना कटाक्ष करोगे, दूसरों का उपहास कर कितने मजे लोगे, किसी की पीड़ा को चाय की चुस्कियों के साथ चर्चा कर कितना आनंद लोगे, किसी का चरित्र हनन कर खुद को राम सीता समझ लिए, किसी की आलोचना में इतने लगे रहे खुद को न्यायाधीश समझ बैठे, किसी की करुण व्यथा को तुमने अपने परिप्रेक्ष्य में ही समझा, किसी की चरम वेदना पर तुमने मन गढ़त कहानी रच डाला, एक मरे हुए को और मारा, एक टूटे हुए को और तोड़ा, एक हारे हुए का इतना तिरस्कार, एक बनावटी मुस्कान लिए पीठ पीछे वार पे वार किया, इतने मगरूर रहे, इतने मसरूफ रहे दूसरों के विश्लेषण और विच्छेदन में कि तुम अपने गिरेबान में झांकना ही भूल गए। पता ही नहीं चला तुम्हें कि कब तुम्हारे घर के कुछ शीशे टूट गए, बेखबर रहे तुम कि कब तुम्हारे हाथ से निकल गए, अनजान रह गए तुम कब एक तेज आंधी आई और तुम्हारे कुछ कीमती सामान उड़ा ले गई, कब तेज बिजली की चमक और बादल की गरज सबको कपकपा गई। भूल गए तुम इंसानियत, भूल गए तुम प्यार की परिभाषा, भूल गए विश्वास की महत्ता, भूल गए अपनी आत्मा से संपर्क करना, भूल गए तुम भी हाड़ मांस के पुतले ही हो, भूल गए तुम भी मेरे जैसे ही हो। तुम न राम हो, न सीता हो, न सावित्री हो, न श्रवण हो, तुम भ्रमित हो, तुम भ्रमित हो। धन्यवाद। मेरी दूसरी कविता की शीर्षक है तेरे कंधे की आज मुझे जरूरत है। तेरे कंधे की आज मुझे जरूरत है। मेरे मरने के बाद कंधे देने की फिक्र ना कर। मेरी सोसाइटी में भले लोग भी हैं, आ जाएंगे कंधे देने के लिए, रस्म निभाने के लिए, पर अब मैं जिंदा हूं। तेरे कंधे की आज मुझे जरूरत है। तेरे कंधे पे सर रख के 2 आंसू तो बहा लूं, सीने में भरे हुए दर्द तो बांट लूं। रोने दे मुझे, हंसने दे मुझे, चिल्लाने दे मुझे, सिसकने दे मुझे। थकान से झूलते इस बदन को संभाल तो ले। तेरे कंधे की आज मुझे जरूरत है। मेरी चुप्पियों के पीछे उमड़ी तूफान तू देख ले। मुस्कुराहट के पीछे दबी दर्द को समझ ले। तन्हाइयों में लिपटी मेरी गीत तो सुन ले। धड़कनों में बोलती मेरी शिकायत तो सुन ले। आंखों में लिखी मेरी अनकही कहानी को पढ़ ले। खामोशी में लिखे मेरे पैगाम तू पढ़ ले। तेरे कंधे की आज मुझे जरूरत है। यूं तो अक्सर गिरकर खुद को संभाला है मैंने। होठों पे हंसी लिए घाव पे मरहम लगाया है मैंने। यूं तो मुस्कान बरकरार है, पर दिल में एक तूफान सा है। यूं तो होश में हूं, पर दिल बदहवास सा है। तेरे कंधे की आज मुझे जरूरत है। उम्मीदें हैं, हसरतें हैं, पर गिले भी हैं और शिकवे भी। कोशिशें हैं, कशिश है, पर कुहासा भरा एक सफर भी। बस राह में कदम थम न जाए। हाँ, तेरे कंधे की आज मुझे जरूरत है। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
Fantastic. It reminds us the humanity of our society. Now, I want to call upon the stage, where is she? Nabam Sharbang. Let me introduce you. Nabam Sharbang hold bachelor degree in computer engineering, published a poetry book, Voice of Silence, a resonance of love, in 2017. He is from Itanagar, Untitled Chapter. You may continue.
Thank you, Anuradhaji, and welcome all the participants. I'll not introduce myself. I'll let you hear my words. Today I'll recite a poem called "The Architect of Man." So here I am using he, she, man, woman in general, not in particular. Here goes the poem. The title of the poem is "The Architect of Man." Trading her beauty and elegance, wobbling through the days and night with bump. In diagonal valley, she wobbles in pains, carrying him in her womb protected, and he is forged with life in her womb. Drenched on a pool of blood, tearing parts of her flesh apart painfully, passing through the jaws of death, he comes to life on earth from her, as purchase of her blood, a return of her pain. growing on her milk as infant then, sleeping on her bosom in peace as heaven. Often he cries her to sleepless nights, yet she remains as calm as silent sky, ever giving as plenteous ocean, asking none in return. She cleans and wipes his waist with love, and ensures his dines and wines as he grows, still holding him closest to her safest fort, shedding her soul into him, enriching slowly, implanting her strength and dream in him. So this is how the lady nurtures everybody, the man. Grown up, he dominates her to a submissive stilt, suppressed her to a voiceless statue, stresses her to a depressed maid, often rapes her to commit suicide heartlessly, stamping her a weaker unmindfully. But woman, in fact, is the origin of man, the shore his life is anchored safely, the fountain his wisdom and valor flows, sound of his words, voice of his whisper, and the architect of man that robes and loots her, and the architect of man that robes and loots her. So this is the poem, and this is written based on my observation. I am neither a lady nor feminist. This is written based on my observation in our typical the society, where we try to objectify or materialize a lady. But if we look at the lady carefully, she is the architect of man, and she deserves all the love, caring, and respect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Very nice. Very nice. Brilliant. And now I want to call up on the stage Gyati Ampi.
Srimati Mamangda, if you could please join us on the stage.
Yeah, where is
Thank
she?
you.
Oh, you are sitting behind. You please come here. So give her a round of applause. Yeah. So great poet she is. Enhance our platform, enhance the glory of our platform. Yeah. So Getty MP, Getty TMMP is the head of the Department of English, St. Claret College, Giro. She's the writer on novella Will Spring Bloom Again, and poetry anthology An Undying Dream, musing of a decade. She finds solace in her writing and wishes to spread smile and love in the world. Yeah, you may continue.
Thank you, ma'am. Very pleasant good afternoon to everyone. I'll be reciting one of the poems from my book, An Undying Dream, Musings of a Decade. Before I recite the poem, which is on my hometown, Zero, I want to take you on a journey that I had undertaken to attend this literature festival. Yesterday it wasn't as pleasant as it is today. It was quite rainy, and while I was traveling in the sumo and slushing through the road, I wrote this poem. It's titled as The Journey. The pitter-patter sound of rain woke me up. The long-awaited day had arrived. I picked my bag and got in the vehicle. The signs of early monsoon gave me some sort of chill. Only if I had known it was gonna be one hell of a memory. Next, all I knew was bouncing about inside. The nature swayed the vehicle and I swayed all along with it. The dancing motion kept going on, and so did my heart pounded all along. Oh, how my heart cried in that moment. Only if the road were done before the monsoon had hit. Oh, how little less everyone would be anxious during the travel. Yet I stand here with a smile on from my daddy dearest to tell a tale of my journey. Thank you. I am sure after hearing this, you might find the road had been so horrible, and I am sure many of you are aware that the Lit Fest was supposed to be in Zero, and we were like fully prepared to welcome everyone. But yeah, due to the weather condition, and it was like, shifted to Itanagar. Anyway, but I would like to, through my words, I would like to take you to my place, to my homeland Zero. My homeland Zero. The valley between mystic hills, looking handsome but still. Oh, the Mother Earth created the beauty of what? It is my homeland, Zero, where Apatani lives, pure and divine itself, blessed by Lord Shiva himself. It's where pines are born, which are like a corn. Time to time, cheerfully, paddy plants sway gleefully, greenery turning yellow in tip as paddy grows very deep. People are simple and humble, what a smile in everyone's dimple. Indeed, everything is there. Words seem so mere, so go for yourself. Look at nature's self, such a wonderful paradise it is, Zero, which makes you forget your sorrow. Thank you.
Very nice. So sweet, so sweet. Very beautiful. Now, Mukul Pathak will recite his poem. Yeah. I'll give an introduction. Mukul Pathak is a senior correspondent of DY365 News Channel and General Secretary of the Arunachal Pradesh Literary Society. I think everybody knows him. An avid reader and writer since childhood, Sri Mukul Pathak started writing for newspapers since his school days and later on entered in professional journalism in the year 1996. He has written many short stories and poems which were published in leading Assamese literary magazines. He regards himself more as a literary activist than a writer or poet. He is the creator of popular book group named Kitab. I think you know everybody. Do you know about the Kitab? It's the largest group in Facebook, Kitab, and admin is Mukul Pathak. It's very popular. It is all time. It is the discussions going on books, in each books. So it's a great work actually he's doing now.
Thank you.
For the literature. In the year 2009, he actually introduced Kitab, which is the largest social media platform, I told you, and dedicated on discussions about books only, and have more than 1,20,000 members in this group, Kitab group. And he will recite now.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, I don't deserve that much of appreciations. But still, I would like to introduce myself as a literary activist, actually. I love literature. I love reading books. Sometimes I do write. एंड मेरा मिसेस का कहना है कि मैं जब भी कविता लिखता हूँ या शॉर्ट स्टोरी लिखता हूँ इट बिकेम ए न्यूज़ नॉट इन पोएम और समथिंग बिकॉज आई एम फ्रॉम द मीडिया बैकग्राउंड बट सी हर वर्ड्स कैन नॉट डिस्करेज मी अभी तक तो डिस्करेज नहीं हुआ हम लिखते गया है एंड somehow थॉन्गसी सर पुट माई नेम इन दिस पोएट्री सेशंस एंड आई वांट टू टेंडर माई एपोलॉजी वेल इन एडवांस कि अगर मुझे मेरा कविता सुन के अच्छा नहीं लगा काइंडली मुझे माफ़ कर दीजिएगा. I don't write good poems, but let's try. I usually write in Assamese. So मैं असमीज में ही एक छोटा सा कविता पढ़ के सुनाऊंगा एंड थोड़ा सिनॉप्सिस में बता दूंगा आप लोगों को क्योंकि sometimes I feel something cannot be translated. Especially the poems is very difficult to translate. You cannot vibrate the same thing in a different language. So I feel it will be better I should read it in Assamese, and I'm taking a little bit more time to give a sum up of the poem. It goes like that. Hilor hoite apolog atma kathon. Hilor hoite mur kono bondhutto nai. Nai kono apunotto. Komolatar kothin hojjat aropito hi ek nishthuratar protik matra. সিমানখিনি নিষ্ঠুৰ হ'ব পৰা বাবেই সি শিল বেদনাক জিনি হৈ পৰা হৃদয়হীন পাষাণ তথাপি শিল ভাল পাওঁ দুখৰ স্তূপবোৰ শিল কৰিবলৈ বাৰে বাৰে শিলৰ প্ৰেমত পৰোঁ কি বতাহ কি বৰষুণ কি পানী কি মাটি তাৰ কঠিনতাত অটল সি দুখৰ লোটকক প্ৰশ্ৰয় নিদিয়াৰ পণ কৰি লোৱাৰ বাবেই কিজানি এদিন দুখবিহীন শিল হৈছিল সি এবাৰলৈ শিল হ'ব পৰা হ'লে কিজানি পালোহেঁতেন দুখবিহীন সুখৰ নতুন অনুভূতি. एक्चुअली दिस इज अबाउट मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में बता देता हूँ. ये पहाड़ की पत्थर के ऊपर हमने कुछ अपना थॉट्स को इम्प्लाई किया. तो पत्थर क्या होता है तो हमने भी इसे एक मूवी देखा था उसमें एक ऐसा पत्थर दिखाई दिया था कि गॉड मस्ट बी क्रेजी मूवी में एक पत्थर होता है ना बड़ा किसी से देखा होगा ना वो पत्थर को देख के हम स्क्रीनशॉट लिया था उसको देख के याद है कि व्हाई दिस स्टोन इज सो अलोन एंड व्हाई इज स्टिल टफ स्टैंडिंग सो हंड्रेड्स ऑफ ईयर्स. तो उसी से फीलिंग्स के रिलेटेड है. ये मेरा फीलिंग्स ये है कि पत्थर ऐसा क्यों हो गया क्योंकि उसने इतना झेला है जिंदगी में शायद उसका इतना दर्द होता होगा शायद इतना उसने झेला है जिंदगी को शायद इतना कुछ झेला है कि उसका इमोशन खत्म हो गया और वो अपने आप को इतना सख्त बना दिया कि नोबडी कैन हार्म हिम. दो इनर वॉइस है वो टूटेगा नहीं कभी और इट बिकम सो हार्ड एंड द पत्थर इज द सिंबल ऑफ दैट स्टोन इज द सिंबल ऑफ दैट काइंड ऑफ हार्ट व्हिच कैन नॉट बी ब्रेक डाउन बाय एनी हाउ इन एनी सिचुएशंस. That is the moral of the poem. And
पत्थर होने से मेरे दुख भी सहन लेती. ये दिस इज द मीनिंग. मेरा जो दुख है अंदर में जितना भी दुख है हाउ मच पेन आई एम बियरिंग इनसाइड मी सो इफ आई कुड बी अ स्टोन then I could have also tolerate everything.
Yeah, that's
the meaning.
Thank you. Yeah. एंड ये मैं हिंदी में लिखा था. ये थोड़ा पढ़ देंगे तो आप लोगों को समझ में आ जाएगा. सिंपल वर्ड है. आई डोंट हैव मच गुड वर्ड्स इन हिंदी बट स्टिल मेरा जितना जानकारी है मैं बता दूं कि मैं अरुणाचल में आके हिंदी बोलना शुरू किया. उससे पहले मैंने कभी हिंदी बोला भी नहीं सुना भी नहीं सीखा भी नहीं पढ़ा भी नहीं था. एंड तो मेरा कविता में अगर प्रोनाउंसिएशन में अगर हिंदी में अरुणाचली फ्लेवर आ जाते तो बस अपना ही समझ लेना. ना भूलने की बीमारी. मैंने जब उसे रेलवे स्टेशन पे देखा ना भूलने की बीमारी ने मुझे उसकी याद दिला दी. मैंने उसे कुछ पल के लिए ही देखा शायद उसने मुझे भी देखा. मैंने उसे देखकर भी अनदेखा किया लेकिन उसने क्या किया वो मैंने नहीं देखा. सालों बीत गए जब हमने उसे याद नहीं करने की कसम खाई थी। सालों बीत गए जब हमने उसे याद नहीं करने की कसम खाई थी। ये भूलने की आदत को आदत बना ही नहीं पाए। सालों बीत गए जब हमने उसे याद नहीं करने की कसम खाई थी। ये भूलने की आदत को आदत बना ही नहीं पाए। ये ना भूलने की बीमारी। वर्षों से हमें यही याद था कि वो सारे बातें मुझे भूल जाना है। वर्षों से हमें यही याद था कि वो सारे बातें मुझे भूल जाना है। ये हमें याद रखना ही नहीं है, जो हमें याद रखना ही नहीं है। लेकिन करे तो क्या करे, ये ना भूलने की बीमारी वो सारी बातें याद दिला देती है। जिंदगी के ये सिलसिले चलती रहती है। वो बातें जो मुझे भूल जाना चाहिए था, वो सारी बातें भूलने ही भूल जाते हैं। जो बातें जो मुझे भूल जाना चाहिए था, वो सारी बातें भूलने ही भूल जाते हैं। थैंक यू, दैट्स माय पॉइंट।
Thank you. Mukul, your Mrs. Janabi is sitting over there. She is also listening the poem, you know.
Yeah.
And
Actually,
घर में पूछेंगे वो कौन था?
नहीं
वो कौन थी जो भूलने का बीमारी से भी भूल नहीं पाई?
नहीं मैम, जस्ट टू क्लियरिफाई दिस थिंग, जैसे आप और प्रदीप का प्यार हमने देखा है, दोनों एक साथ घूम रहे हैं ना, सो उसमें कोई डाउट ही नहीं होना चाहिए हमारा बीच का प्यार के, क्योंकि व्हाइल आई वाज कंपोजिंग दिस पोएम शी वाज इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी।
ओके, दैट्स गुड।
थैंक यू।
That's very good. Now we are going to listen from Dr. Alok Kumar Singh. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to introduce you before it. Dr. Alok Kumar Singh. Dr. Alok Kumar Singh, General Secretary, APLS West Coming Unit, Assistant Professor in Hindi, Government College, Bomdila. Just continue.
थैंक यू मैम। आप सभी को मेरा प्रणाम। मैं आप लोगों के समक्ष एक गज़ल की तर्ज पे एक मैंने कविता लिखा है। इसमें ज़रूरी तो नहीं, ये टेक है कविता का। हर वक्त दवा की बात ना हमसे किया करो, हर वक्त दवा की बात ना हमसे किया करो, हर मर्ज का इलाज हो जरूरी तो नहीं। लट उलझे हो तो उनको संवारना ही अच्छा, लट उलझे हो तो उनको संवारना ही बेहतर, हर जगह नाई की दुकान हो जरूरी तो नहीं। खुशियाँ जहाँ मिले जितना मिले सबको समेट लो, खुशियाँ जहाँ मिले जितना मिले सबको समेट लो, वक्त हमेशा कदरदान हो जरूरी तो नहीं। बेगैरतों की दुनिया में जज्बातों की कद्र नहीं होती, हर हसीन चेहरे से प्यार मिले जरूरी तो नहीं। कभी घर के आंगन में लगे तुलसी की इबादत कर लेना, इबादत मीन्स पूजा। कभी घर के आंगन में लगे तुलसी की इबादत कर लेना, हर मुजस्समे में मूर्ति में हर मुजस्समे में भगवान मिले जरूरी तो नहीं। ताउम्र जिसको चाहा वो मुखातिब न हुआ, तुमसे अदब की आस करें जरूरी तो नहीं। गुनाह जिसने भी किया उसकी सजा मुकर्रर हो, हर गलत का एहतराम मीन्स सम्मान, हर गलत का एहतराम हो जरूरी तो नहीं। ऐसा न पूछो हाल दिल की रुखसत होना पड़े, भाग जाना पड़े। ऐसा न पूछो हाल दिल की रुखसत होना पड़े, हर दिल अजीज को मोहब्बत मिले जरूरी तो नहीं। गम की मियाद मियाँ देर तलक नहीं रहती। हर रात सबे बारात हो खुशी की रात जरूरी तो नहीं। वफा में कुछ नादानियां तुमने भी की होगी, वफादारी में कुछ नादानियां तुमने भी की होगी। हर बेवफा दगाबाज मिले जरूरी तो नहीं। एक दूसरी मेरी कविता है माँ। माँ को क्या कहा जाए, माँ को क्या कहा जाए। माँ बहुत बेवकूफ होती है। आईने में नहीं अपनी संतान में ही अपना अक्स देखा करती है। माँ को कभी ठंड नहीं लगती, माँ को कभी ठंड नहीं लगती। सर्दी में सुसु करने पर बच्चे को सूखे और खुद गीले बिस्तर पर सो जाती है। माँ बहुत अंधविश्वासी होती है, माँ बहुत अंधविश्वासी होती है। बच्चे को जीने के लिए घुरहु पतवारू मराठू नाम दे देती है और किसी की बुरी नजर न लगे इसलिए माथे पे काला टीका लगा देती है। माँ बहुत फूहड़ और बददिमाग होती है, माँ बहुत फूहड़ और बददिमाग होती है। बेटे का जूठा मुंह रुमाल से नहीं आंचल के पल्लू से पोंछती है। माँ बहुत पागल होती है, माँ बहुत पागल होती है। ओझा सोखा की बात मानकर गले और बाह में मंत्र फूंक ताबीज बांध देती है। माँ को गिनती और पहाड़ा भी नहीं आती, माँ को गिनती और पहाड़ा भी नहीं आती। वह निपट निरक्षर होती है। बेटे को 4 रोटी खिलाकर सिर्फ 2 ही बताती है। माँ बहुत स्वार्थी होती है, माँ बहुत स्वार्थी होती है। दूसरे का हिस्सा चुराकर बच्चे को खिलाती है और खुद पानी पीकर सो जाती है। माँ बहुत अंधी और बेईमान होती है, माँ बहुत अंधी और बेईमान होती है। अपने बच्चे की 100 गलती नहीं देखती और दूसरे की हर गलती देख लेती है। फिर भी न जाने क्यों ये दिल कहता है कि माँ सबसे अच्छी होती है, माँ सबसे अच्छी होती है, माँ ही सबसे अच्छी होती है। इस समय रूस यूक्रेन युद्ध चल रहा है। होली के दिनों में मैंने 2 कविताएं यूक्रेन पे और रूस पे लिखा था, तो एक कविता मैं सुनाना चाहता हूँ। युद्धरत देश में एक माँ का अपने बेटे को संदेश। युद्धरत देश में एक माँ का अपने बेटे को संदेश। मेरे बेटे इस बार होलिका में पटाखे मत जलाना, मेरे बेटे इस बार होलिका में पटाखे मत जलाना, क्योंकि इस समय पूरा विश्व आग की लपटों में जल रहा है। मेरे बेटे इस बार होली में पिचकारी की जिद मत करना, मेरे बेटे इस बार होली में पिचकारी की जिद मत करना, क्योंकि इस बार पिचकारी से रंग नहीं लहू निकलेगा। मेरे बेटे अब की बार बसंत में कोयले नहीं कूकेगी, अब की बार सियार फेंकरेंगे, कौवा चील गिद्ध छत की मुंडेर पर मंडराएंगे। देखना अब की बार आम के पेड़ पर बौर भी नहीं आएंगे, अब की बार ठूठ पेड़ पर नरकंकाल नजर आएंगे। और हाँ इस बार होली में कोई मिठाई का पैकेट दे तो भूलकर भी मत लेना, क्या पता उसमें बम रखा हो। मेरे प्यारे बेटे इस बार होलिका दहन के लिए खरपतवार इकट्ठा मत करना, क्योंकि खुद पूरा विश्व बारूद की ढेर पर बैठा हुआ है। मेरे बेटे शायद दुनिया में टेसू के पेड़ नहीं रहे, इसलिए लोग आग की लपटों से खेल रहे हैं। मेरे बेटे अगर होली खेलना ही है तो पहले टेसू के बिरवे लगाना, ताकि लोग आग की लपटों से नहीं रंगों से होली खेलें। इसके बाद उसी की अगली लाइन है दूसरे कविता का, वही रूस और यूक्रेन। धिक्कार है मुझे कि मैंने अपनी नंगी आंखों से एक देश को तबाह होते हुए देखा। धिक्कार है उन्हें जो एक सभ्यता को मिटते हुए देख रहे हैं। क्या किसी को तबाह करके ही महान बना जा सकता है? क्या किसी को मारकर ही दुनिया का महाआख्यान रचा जा सकता है? क्या लाशों के ढेर लगाकर ही वीर बना जा सकता है? क्या बर्बर और जाहिल हुए बिना विकास संभव नहीं है? क्या कोई भी कमजोर की फरियाद नहीं सुनने वाला? क्या यूक्रेन को उसकी हाल पर ही मरने के लिए छोड़ दिया जाए? मुझे तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा, कुछ भी नहीं सूझ रहा। रोऊं, चिल्लाऊं या नीरो की तरह बांसुरी बजाऊं? ऐसी तबाही और ऐसा मंजर देख रूह कांप जाती है। हे कवियों, हे लेखकों, तुमसे बहुत उम्मीदें हैं, कुछ तो बोलो। एक रूंधा गला बार बार ये कह रहा है कोई, हाँ है कोई जो यूक्रेन को जलने से बचा ले, यूक्रेन को मरने से बचा ले, यूक्रेन को मरने से।
Oh, very nice, very heart touching, really. Thank you, Alak ji. Now we are waiting for Bipul Ragon. He is a very popular poet, well-known, very well-known poet. Bipul Ragon from Jorhat, Assam, is a lecturer in Department in Hindi at Assam Satriya Sangeet Mahavidyalaya, Jorhat, a recipient of Lekhak Sambardhana. Sri Bipul Ragon has several publications to his credit. Ek Mano Ekhon Hridoy, a novel. Bukut Baje Gorokhia Bahi, a collection of poetry. It is in Assamese. Bukut Baje Gorokhia Bahi, and many more. He has edited many magazines and published several articles in Assamese daily newspapers and magazines. Yeah. You can continue now.
I would like to 3 poems to English and 1 Assamese. I would like to 3 poems, recite poems to English and 1 Assamese, because I love Assamese. So my first poem is Horse Driven Cart. My great grandfather had a horse driven cart. He inherited it from his father. This was the pride of the village. Later, it went to the hands of my grandfather. Grandfather took his bride in this cart to her mother to attend the ritual on the day after 8 days of the wedding. My father was born on the way to the distant hospital when my granny was taken inside the cart. Grandfather handed over the horse-driven cart to my father. Gradually, the cart showed problems. First, the wheels were damaged by rusting and the wood-cutting weevils. Father wakes up listening to the irritating wood-cutting sounds made by the weevils. Then I entered into the womb of my mother as a river in her half-asleep slumber. The wheels witnessed numbers protests in which so many mothers lost their sons. The wheels witnessed many secret killings in which so many children lost their fathers. The wheels witnessed several floods in which was away our antiquous dreams by the river. Father lost a wheel of the cart in such a flood. The horse-driven cart witnessed thousands of sufferings mentioned in the history. People sit on it for journey. The mentoring Nandini goes to the fair mounting on his cart. Friend Nandan went to the temple by the same cart. The cart witnessed so many lasting activities of despotic rulers. It also listened to the death cries and democracy. It witnessed the suicides of lakhs of farmers with dreams hanging on the golden fields. Father did not wish to hand over the cart with one wheel, so I have not inherited any horse-driven cart.
Very nice. Very nice.
Second one, the finger pawned for 5 years. Wrapping the smell of the moody soil of the summer and the tingles of the reamed mustard in the overhanging flap of breath, set out on a journey to the western range of South India, carrying us inside like to the bundle of battle. The whistling train took us from the foothill of the Himalaya to the foothill of the Nilgiri. An immeasured dream in the ice, 2 pairs of clothes and a small bundle of notes from the saving of father, which can be summed up on the tip of a finger. On the sunburned back of father, happiness is unable to raise. The troublesome cough of mother protect the night in the definition of happiness. How the active young child of brassy complexion can just bear the pain of the miserable life. The helicopter of monarchy, aristocracy, democracy go flying above the prosperous storehouse, ruined in the flash flood, with hopes longs for the son of a healthy one. The throat of hope goes dry. The sight of the royal authority is fixed on a particular finger. For 5 years, used to keep the finger on pawn. For 3 days and 3 nights, the train carried endless dreams. Starvation is the first slogan of our lives. In the western part of the South India, build a salary-oriented ladder of dream to recover the dreams of father. The willingness for satisfaction takes a deep slumber in the ladder of dream. The native land, the love for own country keeps striking the heart. These salaries increase the smile of father like the crescent moon. The smile of the twilights was in the face of mother. The day went on, crowing on the dreams kept advancing. One day, a prison tramp rang in the heart. In the cycle of time of the universe, the coil of the pandemic is havoking. The cities becomes dead cities. The temple, the mosques, the churches left wrapping the poisonous time. The physicians work, all closed. The train that carrying us was captured as the hostess of the Benedict. The order of the royal authority, all the set out should go back to their native places. Again the pathetic pain increased. The sharp eyes of the royal authority did not fall on the starved figures of the subjects. The troublesome cough of mother too increased. Keeping death as witness, started the return journey to the native land as a pedestrian. To that own home, which does not draw the attention of the royal authority, sinks in the whirlpool of democracy. Now there exists only one dream. Oh, dear son, come back to home. Sprout dreams in the prow of plowshare on the field, growing the golden crops. Capture the ancestral thread of our own capacity. Release the finger from the treasure. You are the laborer's son of the laborer's father. Thank you.
Very nice.
I'd like to one Assamese poem.
Yeah.
It's your magazine published this, Satori.
Hatpuri, yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
It is published in Hatpuri, and I'm responsible for it, to publish it.
গৈ থাকো দুয়ো নৈপৰীয়া জীৱন সংগ্ৰাম মোৰ আজন্ম লগৰী তথাপি বুকুত বান্ধো আৰ্তনাটৰ জিয়া তছবিৰ বহাগৰ নপানীত উজান উঠে জোনাকী নিশা পথাৰত ৰাইজে ন মাছৰ সন্ধান কৰে পিতায়ে দিনতে চাইকলৰ স্পকে পছা সাজে হেৰাব খোজা পথাৰৰ সৰুৱালীত বামুণ ভেকুলাৰ সংগম ওখ অট্টালিকাত ৰঙা বেঙুনীয়া লাইট জ্বলে উচ্চতাৰ পৰা ন পানীৰ উজান নেদেখে কি যে দিনকাল জুই পানী একাকাৰ হ'ল খাতি বুলি একোৱেই নাই মোৰ বুকুত ভেজাল তাইৰ চকুত ভেজাল উঠত চকুত ভোক তগৰ শুকাল কপৌ শুকাল আকৌ ফুলিছে পলাশ শিমলো আকৌ মাটি ফুটি ওলাইছে মাটি কপৌ কি যে তেজৰ পিৰপিৰণি বাটে ঘাটে মোৰ পুৰাতন শৃংগাৰ উৎসৱত এজাৰে মোহিনী আত্তম কৰে বাঁহী বজাব নাজানিলেও কি হ'ল মোৰ শুৱে বাৱে হেম্বেলে নৈ দুবাহুত ইতিহাসৰ পাঠ কি যে আবুল তাবুল বকিছোঁ সেন্দুৰীয়া আকাশ ধীৰে ধীৰে আকাশ কপাই নিজস্ব ঘ্ৰাণৰ দীৰ্ঘশ্বাসত ওলমি ৰয় ৰাতুল আকাশ ফনা মেলি অহা কালিন্দী মেঘে বিশৃংখল কৰিব খোজে বৰ্ণিল আকাশ আকাশত বৈশাখী কাশীজোন এনেকুৱা লাগিছিল নন্দী ভৃংগীৰ তেলসনা শিং গৈ থাকোঁ দুয়ো নপানীৰ উজানত মথাৰিও বুৰু বুৰু ধন্যবাদ
Thank you, people. It's a wonderful poetry, actually. And when he speaks in Assamese, his tempo is coming up automatically, yeah, because of the flavor. Thank you very much. Yeah. Now, Eken Baram. Bam. No, Baram. Yes, it's Baram. B-A-M. Eken Bam. Yeah, he's a young officer. Eken Bam. Eken Bam is an Arunachal Pradesh civil service officer currently posted as circle officer in Gante. No? Is it?
Yes.
Gante. It's right? Okay. Gante, Kradadi district. A member of Arunachal Pradesh Literary Society and regular in the Arunachal Pradesh circuit. His poems are based on social issues prevalent in society. He aspires to bring change in the society through his poems. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
My name is Iken Bam.
Eken Bam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Respected Anuradha ji, Mamang Dai ji, and all the literature lovers over here. I'm going to present a very short and simple poem. विनीता जी और आलोक जी ने तो बार बहुत हाई कर दिया हम लो कर देगा थोड़ा anyways I'm very much honored to be amongst all the August members out here and I've loved all the performances in fact I was moved by most of the performances and the poem that I'm going to present is about a girl she finds herself at a crossroad and but still the fighting spirit in her resides and she's striving to fight back. So here it goes. Standing in the herald hallways of dreams and desires, her inner voice gasps for that unsung song. Blind hopes in search of the light. Nothing, just nothing seems right. Every plan, every thought, just a nefarious knot of dreams left unsailed, of dreams left untouched. The sound of a fighting spirit, floats in oblivion, waiting to reverberate in the wide ambience. Like the phoenix in the mix that rises from the ashes, she must leave all behind. And march ahead, for time is a traveler. It passes through swiftly as footprints at the beach. For time is a traveler. Thank you so much.
Very nice, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, so we are in the end part. Now, Inumoni Das should come and recite. I'd like to introduce her, Inumoni Das. Mrs. Inumoni from Tejpur, Assam, started writing poems from her school days. She has published poem collections to me in Assamese. Besides writing poems, she also translates other works to Assamese. Presently, she is translating the Karma Bhumi, one of Premchand's classic novel, which is being published by the Sahitya Academy. Yeah, you please go on.
Good evening, all. First of all, I want to apologize, ma'am, because मैं छोटी उम्र से लिखना शुरू नहीं किया. I have started writing just before 7-8 years ago when I associated with APLS, Arunachal Pradesh Literary Society. So, और मेरा भी ये सौभाग्य है कि ऐसे लिखते हुए भी मेरा कुछ poems असम की गिने सुने मैगजीनों में भी पब्लिश हुई है. जैसे सादीन का मैम का जो मैगजीन है उसमें भी मेरा ये सौभाग्य है कि ऑलरेडी पब्लिश हुई है. सो ओके, सो फर्स्ट
Lots of newcomers also, they publish.
it's translated from Assamese to English. The name of the poem is Traveler. Ailments of sordid times were in spect. On the nails embedded on the walls. Tongue lashing a resounding slap or knocking by a hammer. Whose is whose complimentary? The concrete wall was not shattered at the strike of a single nail. The way the heart was shattered at the strike of a tongue. How far behind did you leave history? Close division, Marxist text, history of many a times. Like a Neanderthal of Paleolithic era. I continued to gaze at the flame in the two eyes. Where have I buried? When did I put to eternal rest the ancient human feelings? Are we the inhabitants of globalization, enthralled in the glitters of modernity? Still an unknown question hangs on. But now, the ultramodern modernity, at its own sweet will, tends to crush the ancient breath of humanity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Another one poem, because ma'am is standing here, so I just want to read out one of my Assamese poem. The name of the poem is Andhar, means darkness. इसका पीछे ये है कि आजकल हम लोग सराउंडिंग में अंधार जो डार्कनेस होता है दिखने को नहीं मिलते हैं, क्योंकि चारों तरफ नियॉन लाइट्स हो या चारों तरफ इस तरह से आधुनिकता बढ़ गई है कि ये अंधेरा आजकल हम लोगों को नहीं मिल रहा है. उसी का ऊपर जस्ट फोकस करते हुए मैं जस्ट एक कोशिश कर रही हूँ इन असमीज पोएम. अंधार. देउदी देउदी उमली फुला आबेलिটো লচপচকৈ কেতিয়ানো গাভৰু হ'ল তলকিব লওঁতেই এয়াচোন জোঁৱাৰে যেন উফন্দি উঠা গৰ্ভৱতী নিশা. বাহ কি চমৎকাৰ এন্ধাৰৰ ৰহস্যময় শৰীৰ. আজিকালি এন্ধাৰৰ সঠিক ঠিকনা ক'ত জানানে বাৰু তুমি? উঠৰ কোণত তেওঁৰ এটা তীৰ্যক হাঁহি. বুজি নোপোৱা নীৰৱতাৰ মাজত অজস্ৰ ভাষাৰে তেওঁ মূৰ তুলি চালে. হয়তো দুচকুৰ বাটেৰে মোক লৈ যাব বিচাৰিছিল এন্ধাৰেৰে মেট মাৰি থকা তেওঁৰ বুকু আৰু মগজুৰ চোতাললৈ. অথচ ঠিক তেনে এটি বেৰসিক আৰু আপদীয়া অৱস্থা আমাৰ মাজলৈ অহাটো মই মুঠেই বিচৰা নাছিলোঁ. দুখটো তেওঁৰ নাছিল. একবিংশ শতিকাত বন্ধা আছে তেওঁৰ উশাহৰ লহৰ, দলদোপ হেন্দোলদোপ মাথো ঊৰ্ধ্বমুখী আবহাৱা। মই তেওঁলৈ অপলক চাইছিলোঁ আৰু কৈছিলোঁ, জানানে, মই আচলতে এন্ধাৰৰ কথাই কৈছোঁ, নিশাৰ এন্ধাৰ, প্ৰাকৃতিক এন্ধাৰ। শিশুৱে মাতৃৰ কোলাত মুখ লুকুওৱা এন্ধাৰ, দৃষ্টি য'ত ক্ষণিকতে দৃষ্টিহীন হৈ যায়, ছায়াখন তেনে এক নিচিত্ৰ এন্ধাৰ। এন্ধাৰৰো আছে এক স্বচ্ছন্দ সৌন্দৰ্য, জানানে বাৰু তুমি? চুইছানে কেতিয়াবা তুমি এন্ধাৰৰ নিৰাভৰণ শৰীৰ? চেকিছানে তাৰ সোৱাদ? কিমান যে ৰোমাঞ্চকৰ, যেন ৰহস্যময়ী এক বিমূৰ্ত যাত্ৰা। অথচ বিচাৰিলে এতিয়াতো পোৱা নাযায় নিশাৰ আভিধানিক অৰ্থবহতা। জানানে, দুপৰ নিশাও কেতিয়াবা মই যে মোহগ্ৰস্ত মানুহৰ দৰে চকু মেলি চাই ৰওঁ, ক'ত বাৰু সোমাই আছে খুব মৰা এন্ধাৰৰ সেই দাৰুণ ৰহস্যময়তা। ভেণ্টিলেটৰৰ চকচকীয়া আইনাৰে পৰম দাম্ভিকতাৰে সোমাই অহা নিয়নৰ শুভ্ৰ অথবা হালধীয়া পোহৰৰ সৈতে টেবুল, আলমাৰী, আনকি মোৰ বিচনাৰ প্ৰতিটো অংশৰ সৈতে দেখোঁ মই প্ৰতিটো নিশাৰ অবাধ অভিসাৰ। বুজিব পাৰিছানে তুমি? নাই নাই, মনত শিপাই থকাখিনিৰ কথাও মই একেবাৰেই ক'ব খোজা নাই। আচলতে হিংসাৰ বাবে নহয়, অপৰাধ অসহযোগিতাৰ বাবেও নহয়, প্ৰেমৰ বাবে, পৰম ৰহস্যময়তাৰ বাবে, তুলনাবিহীন বহু নৈশ সৌন্দৰ্যৰ বাবে মই যে বহু জাগৰি নিশা বিকাৰগ্ৰস্ত মানুহৰ দৰে চলাথ কৰোঁ সেই পৰম ৰহস্যময় গোপনীয়তা। দৃষ্টি তেওঁৰ স্থিৰ, নিশ্চল, যেন বুৰঞ্জীৰ কোনোবা ক্ষণতে আবদ্ধ কৰি থৈছিল মোৰ দুচকুৰ দুটা ক'লা জামুৰ মাজত। হঠাৎ অসাৱধানতাত সৰি পৰিছিল এটা তাচ্ছিল্য, এটা বিদ্ৰূপ। হয়তোবা দুৰ্ভগীয়া মোৰ একান্ত শুভাকাংক্ষীৰ দৰে ম্ৰিয়মান তেওঁ মোৰ চিন্তাৰ দৈন্যতাত, মোৰ বিপৰীতমুখী অসংযত আলাপ আৰু লালসাত। ধন্যবাদ।
Thank you very much. Very nice. Yes, darkness has also some another purity and beauty. Thank you. Now, Bhargavi Devi. Bhargavi Devi, she is a Bhardevi. Bagdevi Devi. Okay. Dabi. Bagdevi Dabi. Sorry. I apologize. Bagdevi Devi, she is a supervisor at Women and Child Development Department, Government of Arunachal Pradesh. She is also a member of Arunachal Pradesh Literary Society who writes poems and stories. Please go on.
Thank you, Madam.
Okay. Bagdevi Devi.
I am very happy to being with you today. I am going to recite two poems, short two poems. One is in English. Now we know it's a spring season. In a spring season blooms orchids. So I write on orchid blooms, orchid blossoms. So my poem is Queen Orchid. Breathing in the embrace of the trees, O orchid, you are the queen of the spring. Your beauty eludes and traps the bees. The butterflies around your dance with their wings, vibrant, beautiful, and majestic. Angelic, fragrant wave flowing in their forest air, the lover decorates his love, twirling you around her hair. You reign the garden with beauty's might, dazzling views, a merchant's delight. Our people and culture you represent, always echoing in the songs of past and present. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I go for another one
Yeah,
in Assamese?
definitely. Go.
Thank you, madam. मैं भी एक असमीज में एक तो पोएम रिसाइट करना चाहती हूँ. Very short it is. জীৱনৰ দেউকা উঠৰ হাঁহিৰে ঢাকো হৃদয়ৰ বেথা অনুশোচনাৰ চকুলোৰে ধোওঁ অজানিতে কৰা পাপৰ চিকৰা অনুতপ্তৰ হুমুনিয়াহত ভাৱ হৈ পাতল হওক বেদনাগধুৰ দেহৰ বুজা জীৱন সুধাৰ পম খেদি মাথো মৰিচিকাত চলাথ কৰোঁ প্ৰতাৰণা প্ৰবঞ্চনাকেই উজুতি মাৰি উৰি যাওঁ প্ৰত্যাহ্বানৰ দেউকা কোবাই. থেংক ইউ.
ধুনীয়া হৈছে, ভাল হৈছে, ভাল কৰিছে. ঠিক আছে. মুকুল আমাৰ ফটো এটা লোৱা. Take a picture of us. Huh? Yeah. अगर याद रखे तो हमें भी याद रखे. Okay. Now welcome to our Rakom Bado. Nai. Gusigol. Oh, he has gone. We missed him. Now, I think Moshumi na Nero. Okay. Neurak. Yeah, Mosumi Narak. Neurak. Yeah, I want to say about her a few words. Author of Diets, it is Diets? Diets on Life and Society. Is it Diets or what is it? What is it? Yeah, it looks like Diets. Am I right? Is it Diets?
Diets on Life and Society.
Yeah. I'm absolutely right then. Diets on Life and Society. A poetry book. She is a master graduate in literature. On her second poetry book, she has a strong what is written here? Connection with pen and paper. She has absolutely. She has a strong connection with paper and pens. Yes, go on, Mosumi.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. This is Moshmi Nyorak, and I'll be reciting 3 poems, 2 from my book, Diets on Life and Society, and then one I just wrote before this program. So, the title of my poem is A Little Piece of Me, and then poem is about anxiety, and I've tried to express my heart out in this poem, and I believe most of you can relate with. So, I am a little piece of me, and every piece of me is broken and devastated. They say I'm weak, and a little piece of me died that day. Sometimes I woke up in the middle of the night and I can't get back to sleep. The moment I close my eyes, those voices keep repeating in my head, louder and louder. The clock strikes 4 a.m. Tossing and turning, I find myself still awake. I'm tired of fighting with this demon, however, they never leave my side. Sometimes my heart panics and I can't breathe. Because this is so new for me to balance life with. The anxiety, like the wildest nightmare, snatch away all my hope and beliefs of the future that awaits. But alone I have to fight this battle, and alone I have to win over this. A little piece of me is wanting to run somewhere far away from the world, for I can't carry this weight anymore. I run and never win. There are times when I burst out in tears and told me, I have tried my best, but I lose hope. Hoping someday someone would understand my efforts, my feelings, my thoughts, and every piece of me that's scared to face the world. Often, I laugh at myself for how pitiful I am. I lay in bed like the only forgotten child of God, telling myself I'm okay. I hope I have never been this introvert, talking to the walls. Why am I made to bear all this pain? Who can't ever even answer my questions? I don't know how to express how exactly does it feels like to be in this way. I feel insecure if someone stares at me, but today I've learned everything. I'll grow slowly and slowly till I get stronger. So I've gathered all the broken pieces of me to build a home for myself. And tomorrow you will see a new me standing strong with a brighter smile on my face. For that one piece who never gave up to hold every piece together as one. I'm no more shattered and I'm no more afraid. I feel grateful for the first time my anxiety spoke up. So a little piece of me to you. It's okay to feel the way you feel. Keep fighting. Those uncertain feelings will go away one day, the next. Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice.
So, and the imperfect society from the Diets on Life and Society from a book. My opinion somehow tells the truth. So I always thought to be voiceless. I live in such society where people's fear are not themselves, but being judged by others. I look around and discovered everything is broken in this society. None seems real, a laughing ghost I found. There are so many lies and misconceptions. They hardly speak the truth. I find it a worse society where we are counted only as a value of word. I find it hard to make a meaningful connection, and it's not the society I dream of. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the last one, let me be a woman of all kinds, free and wild, loud and low, the best version of me, perfect in imperfections, impressively blooming like a bird, singing to the world the sweetest song and the words, flying high so free, not caged in your judgmental thoughts. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very good, no? Very good. So with Ms. Mosumi, we are going to wind up this session. And really, today's sessions, we have had lots of talents. So, could I go there? And yeah, definitely some of this. Actually, today is my privilege and honor to be here and listening poetry from you. Really, I amazed. Actually, poet exposed himself or herself by poetry and exposed her or his very private thoughts, very it is the inner world. They want to expose their inner world through poetry. They protest. They expose and they express their all types of feelings bearing in their hearts. And from Jame Jini to Mosumi, I have heard all poems, those are really amazing and so beautifully heart-touching word they selected. I'm really spellbound. This I have it is resonance in my the words are resonancing in my ears. That's Jimmy's mountain falling, the rivers calling, I must go, must go. That's calling of nature. Really, I love nature very much, and I'm dying for nature. That's why this strikes me very much. And after that, Sasum. Yeah, Sasum. And Sasum also, she's longing for the forest and nature. Where is Sasum? Yeah, she's sitting here. They're longing for the nature, and she's somehow suffering from pain, destroying natures and everything she had already experienced. Yeah, very nice one. The wall so high, yeah, wall so high, and her dream, about her dream. Those are very much touching my heart, those poetry. Then Tokyo Siram, Vinita Duara, Toko Siram. Toko Siram is attached with the, she's written about the war-affected children, isn't it? War-affected children. It's very painful, and she described well with her lovely words. Binita Duara, I must say about the Brahmit. It's a lovely poetry. Then Nabam Sarvam, his poetry, it's touched my heart. See, he imagined a woman as an architect of the world, you know. So lovely feelings. Gyati MP, she has written the poetry during her traveling from zero onwards, and describing the nature and crying for the nature also. Then Mukul Pathak, I have already explained about his poetry, and I have seen this just before to us. I think he wrote a poem in outside, isn't it? I asked what you were doing outside. He said, "Oh, I just trying to write a poem." And now he's recited here. Very nice one, that is. And Dr. Alok Kumar Singh, वो तो बस सबको घायल कर दिया ऐसे. And he uses most of the Urdu words also very nicely. बहुत अच्छा लगा. Very heart touching, each and every word. और जरूरी नहीं था, ये तो बहुत अच्छा है. सब कैसे मिलेंगे जीवन में, जरूरी नहीं, लेकिन खुशी होने के लिए तो सब कुछ जरूरी नहीं. हम लोग हो सकता है बियॉन्ड एवरीथिंग. हर रात खुशी का नहीं होते तो नहीं होती, ठीक है, बट स्टिल वी आर हैप्पी. वेरी नाइस. और माँ का जो ये था, कविता था, it is really sacrifices of a mother. You can't compare with anybody, anything, anybody in the world. Next to the God, we can't see God, but we can see our mother. And then the Bipul Ragon, I have already spoken about his poetry. He's a very popular Assamese poet, and his flavor is not, I feel somehow, yes, Mukul has said it's truly that sometimes we miss some flavor in English or Hindi translation. We miss some flavor, and it is happens to, I feel it in Bipul's poetry also. Assamese flavor is not being focused in English one. You know, there's somehow I have, because I have read somewhere your original one. That's why I miss something, the flavor. But the poem was very outstanding. That was different. And Ekanbam, Inumoni Das, Bag Devi Devi, Dabi, and Mosumi. Hats off to you all. Really, you, it is the great privilege to me that I want that who will translate it for me, for my newspaper, for my magazine. So who will translate? So Mukul, I have given the responsibility to you. Really, I am very much tempted, because I need this poetry, because we have a huge reader, Assamese reader. So we want to introduce them in Assam. So lovely work they are doing, and poetry is so virgin. Because they are staying in a virgin field, that's why the words and their feelings are so virgin. So I want it to be translated in Assamese. So I am giving you the responsibility. You just select those poetry and the budding, from the budding poet, you know. So I want to introduce them. We must do it. It is the main, actually, purpose of this Northeast Festival. The interaction, exchange, these are the main things. No? So thank you all, and thank you again that you are giving me the responsibility, the sitting in the middle of this month. And again, I am having the lovely company with Mamang Dai. After a long time I met her, actually. And I think in 2005, no, I invited her to Assam for the first time. And she enjoyed a lot, and we also blessed for her presence. And thank you again. I wish this Northeast Literary Festival, Jindabad, and it will continue and continue. And we are always keep in touch with together everywhere. And I would like to talk over telephone and WhatsApp. If you have I can give you my WhatsApp also. You can give your poem in my WhatsApp mail anywhere, and so that I could also translate it from English to Assamese. So the door is open. The door is open, and thank you very much. Stay blessed.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I'm taking the privilege, actually. I just request all the poets who participated in this session, kindly note my WhatsApp number. Can you note it? And send it to me, your poems, that as ma'am asked, no? We'll translate it to Assamese and she will publish in her magazine. So my number is 94020 43709. 94020 43709. You can WhatsApp it, and accordingly I will send it to ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Srimati Anuradha Pujari, ma'am. Yes. Ma'am, if you would like to share some of your thoughts on this session. There's an information we have found the bag. Okay.
Thank you. Actually, it's not my place to say anything now. The session has been concluded, but because Department of IPR and Arunachal Pradesh Literary Society on their behalf, and also because I felt very strongly that I must thank Mrs. Anuradha Sharma Pujari. Even though we've been stuck together all day, we just can't get away from each other. You know, now we've landed up together on the stage. But can you imagine, Sardin, the magazine, is a very powerful and very outspoken Newsweek. Also, the magazine Satsori is very, very prestigious in Assam, in the northeast region. And Anuradha has been sitting here. I noticed this morning also she has been very down to earth, not in the casual down to earth, but in a kind of very gracious, generous down to earth. And I think this poetry session was a success mainly due to her presence also, because people feel relaxed, you know, in her company. Even though I must warn you, she's a very hard-nosed journalist, hard-hitting, you know, protester, activist even, in another avatar. But this session also brings us to realize how literature can knit people together, you know. Then you realize you're not really alone. It is a way of connection, and I think that is why literature is so important for any society, because you can express your thoughts, you can express your feelings or what you witness in your own society, and give expression to it, to be able to share it, for better or worse. But even so, we are bearing witness. So it's important to have literary platforms to bring people together, and to have this very crucial and critical meeting point, which is necessary for any society actually. So that is really all I have to say. Thank you very much for everyone being here, and I can't even remember. I was desperately looking, you know, I carry this notebook around with me, and I thought, have I written anything wonderful, you know, that I can just read out suddenly? And there's nothing, only people's emails and all. But I found one small piece. I think, no, it's not a poem or anything. It's just, I scribbled thoughts. So I think it's going for a story, or it says reference. He had made the wrong choice. It was not new, not the best, greatest, widest, but it was his heart. So I think poetry is, you know, it's also about the heart, you know, what you want to express. And many of this has come out today. We've heard so many wonderful poems. Even as Anuradha was saying, in the mother tongue, the whole tone and flavor, the texture, you know, it becomes different. I have tried writing in Adi, but somehow it doesn't come out the way I want it to, you know. It's just that I'm stuck with English, even though all our resources are based in, you know, the landscape of Arunachal, or the northeast, and this landscape has become the main protagonist for poetry and for fiction writing, for novels. But anyway, more about that another time. We can meet tomorrow again, have another lively session. But please, a warm round of applause for Madam Anuradha again. She has really made this a very wonderful day. Thank you, Madam. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mamangdai ma'am and Anuradha ma'am. Thank you to all the participants, the lovely participants, Jomirjini, Chasum Bosai, Tokyo Siram, Vinita Dobre, Nabam Jerang, Nabam Serbang Gyatiampi, Mukul Patak, Dr. Alok Kumar Singh, Bipul Regon, Ikenbam, Inumoni Das, Bag Devi Davi, Rokom Bado, and Moshmi Nyora Gogo for the poetry recitation session. Thank you for being a part of Northeast Literary Festival 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please put your hands together for all the participants and moderator here. So we have come at the end of the session. Before that, I would like to request all the esteemed members and participants for a photo session here at this stage. Thank you all. We hope to see you tomorrow, same time, same location. Tea is being served near the bookstore. Meanwhile, we have a special screening of the movie Sonam at the Picture Time Hall just beside the bookstore. We would request you to please watch the film Sonam. Thank you.
main line to Khilima.